Hello, everyone out there in media land. The subject for today is the big event coming up. We all know it, May 7th. Mosley, Pacquiao. We're here with, well, he's calling himself Mr. Pound for Pound.
That's for sure.
Right. I'm not even going to ask you how you came to name
because
yourself
I'm pound
that,
for pound.
It really doesn't matter.
All right.
So how do you think the fight will play out? I mean, to be honest.
I'm talking Mosley Pacquiao. This is the fight of the year. You know what I'm saying? Fight of the years that I've been waiting for. This fight's going to play out. This fight's going to be very exciting. It's not going to be boring. It's not going to be lethargic. It's going to be high energy. I think for the first, 5 or 6 rounds, this is going to be off the chain. Probably one of the best fights we've seen in the past 10 years.
Yes, we know both fighters have a lot of fans on both sides. When it comes to their history, power versus strength, who's got it?
Their history, man, they both got powers and strengths. I'd have to go with like Pacquiao as far as the speed and stamina. Of course, he's younger. He's got the youth on his side. Faster reflexes, hand-eye coordination right now. Shane Mosley's got more experience. He should be the stronger guy. He's got that old man strength still, even though he's not as fast.
Old man, wow.
He's got that old man strength, even though he's not as fast as he used to be.
So it's safe to say he's seasoned.
Oh, he's very seasoned, correct.
Old man strength.
Oh man, I'm just being a little funny, but I'm being honest. He's got that George Foreman type strength where you can't count him out. He can knock Pacquiao out at any moment if Pacquiao makes a mistake. So he's got those strengths. And like I said, Pacquiao also has power, but I think Shane still's got his power as well.
Right, Pacquiao Mosley. That's what's happening May 7th. Who do you think, since it sounds like you've been following both careers,
correct,
who has the most heart? Like it's probably a weird question, but boxing you have to have some heart. But who has the most?
That's a good question. They both got tons of heart. Pacquiao, man, he's fought everybody. He's fought bigger people. I mean, Margarito, Clottey, Cotto. Fights with great Mexican fighters such as like Marquez and Morales, Barrera. Fights, people thought he was going to lose. He came through and won them. And these are wars, These weren't just easy fights. A lot of people try to discredit Pacquiao and say that some of his fights were easy. Some they just happened at the right time. Like, he fought Margarito coming off the knockout, lost to Shane. And he fought Clottey when Clottey was coming off, lost to Cotto. He fought Cotto when Cotto was damaged goods after Margarito.
Yeah,
a lot of haters out there. But it takes a lot of heart for a little dude like Pacquiao. He's only barely 5'6" to be fighting these big dudes. You know what I mean? So that shows tremendous heart right there. Not only does he fight these big dudes, he stays in there and he slugs it out with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, David and Goliath, exactly.
Yeah, correct. And as far as Shane Mosley, Shane has always showed heart. He fought fights where if I was his manager, would have never put him in there with. To me, Shane Mosley should technically still be undefeated had he not had bad management. He should have never, in my eyes, I would have never put him in there with Vernon Forrest. That's 2 losses on his record. I would have never put him in there with Winky Wright. That's another 2 losses. So already that's 4 losses just to 2 people that he should have never even been in there with. The huge guys. I'm talking, these guys were big, long, and rangy, and they were actually good. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's not discredit the the managers and those in the corners. Politics when it comes to boxing, but
correct.
What do you think would be the best result as far as just basically for the sport of boxing? What do you think would be the best result for this fight?
Well, first of all, don't ever cut me off again. Just playing.
I'm just trying to move it along.
I know, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. I'm just playing.
I'm not playing.
Just keep.
That's what's happening, Pacquiao Mosley. So, yeah, how do you think...
Wait, let me finish. I'm going to go back to that one.
How do you think, would be the best result?
Oh, yeah, Mosley has heart. Like I was saying, he fights Winky Wright, Vernon Forrest. Let me go back to that. Kind of cut me off there. And then he fought, Mayweather. He fought, and he's not as fast as he used to be. And that was... styles make fights, and as far as Shane's age, a counter-punching quick style like Mayweather wasn't a good style to fight either. So, like I said, bad management, he would still be technically probably undefeated right now. But, okay, next question was what?
The opinions on this show are not blah, 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 whatever that disclaimer is. Anyways, what do you think? I'm going to go back to the, verbatim.
Correct.
Would be the best result for this fight as far as boxing as a whole?
Boxing as a whole, I think the best result, I'm gonna just say this real quickly, for the sport of boxing, we need some excitement back in boxing. We need some of that headline news, Channel 3 type stuff to just really,
Tyson time, son.
We need some Tyson time. We need some unexpected stuff to, come out of the media. I think the best thing for boxing would be like a one-sided knockout annihilation of Pacquiao by Shane Mosley, like maybe 1, 2, 3 rounds. I mean, stuff to have
the punch that you hear around the world.
The punch the punch you hear around the world type stuff. We need that because that would have the world literally
definitely rock a few worlds.
Oh, definitely. I'm telling there'd be a lot of Filipinos sitting on the couch with their mouth open, and there'd be a lot of American fans sitting on the couch with their mouth open.
Exactly.
There'd be a lot of Britain fans and Europeans and Africans
we'll have their opinions.
with their
old
mouth.
Guy knocked him out. Yeah,
exactly. With their mouth open. I think it would be a great thing for boxing if that was to happen. Pacquiao wouldn't lose much stock. He could come back, get a rematch. He could come back and be bigger than ever. Most people, if you go back and track records, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, when they lost and they got humbled, when they were at their peak of immortality, they were loved more when they came back. So it wouldn't be a bad thing for Pacquiao even if he did go out like that. And it would be a great thing for Shane because he'd be back pound for pound again. And then they could do a rematch and be a bigger fight and make more money. It'd be great.
Right. So it's happening May 7th. That's what's up.
It's going down.
It's going down. Pretty much, it's going down. I've checked 360 on Showtime, and I believe it was Pacquiao's manager or one of the guys in his corner saying something like, "What goes up must come down."
Correct.
How do you feel about that?
What goes up?
It sounds like you're leaning more towards Mosley. So,
well, Mosley said it himself. I'll never forget when Shane Mosley lost to Vernon Forrest the first time in the interview. If you go back and watch the post-fight interview, he was like, "Larry, what goes up must come down." And he was like, this is the first time.
And it sounds like he has a very far fall.
Yeah, correct. Pacquiao,
over there in the Philippines, but yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like God right now. Pacquiao could do anything he wants. You know what I'm saying? And not
very talented. Though.
Yeah. Oh, correct.
Yeah.
And he couldn't lose. He could do whatever. He could be working at McDonald's, making burgers on the grill, and they'd be called.
He did start from nothing.
Yeah, they'd be called the Pac Mac burgers. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Very clever. It's very clever.
And they would love it. Then anybody, and this is using. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't gonna go there. It's all good.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
But
story.
he has a
segment. It really is.
He's on Mount Everest right now as far as popularity and his status, and he's got a long way to fall. So he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. I don't think he has. I'm sorry. I don't think Shane has as much pressure as Pacquiao. Shane just has to come in there and fight his fight and try to win.
He's got a little bit more to prove, but yeah.
He's got more to prove,
He's been in the game a little longer, but yeah.
Correct. He has more to prove, and because people are discounting him, but that makes people hungry. And so does Pacquiao. He has to be hungry because he has so much to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and he does wear a lot of hats with
Correct.
him being a congressman and a boxer and a few other things. And he's got his own movies and his own mascots, and he's doing
basketball
a lot of things
teams
over there in the Philippines. So no one really knows as far as after the fight who's next in line for either fighters. Nobody really knows. Like, who would you suggest would be a really good lineup for the winner of the fight?
Well, let Mr. Pound for Pound tell you.
Break it down, right?
Break it down. That was a good one.
Mr.
I like
Pound for Pound. Break
I
it
like
down.
that.
What?
I like that. Mr. Pound for Pound, break it down. Check it out. For all y'all out there that don't know Mr. Pound for Pound, I'm not giving out my name because I am a current fighter, professional boxer. I'm debuting pretty soon.
Who's next?
And coming up in the ranks, you know what I'm saying? Let me get my piece real quick, you know what I mean? But anyways, okay, yeah, so
little plug.
I had to give myself a little kudos. So I am credible. I know a lot about boxing. I sparred with actually a couple world champions, but like I said, you'll get to know me later in these little radio things, the next segment. So
what's next, dude?
What's next? What I think is next for Shane Mosley, let's say he wins the fight. Shane should not retire. Shane should stay around and kind of flaunt in the glory that he will get from beating Pacquiao. He should flaunt, he should eat it up, and he should fight, I would say maybe a tune-up fight, a nice, safe, competitive tune-up fight, nothing to get him too rusty, and then come back and rematch Pacquiao. I wouldn't rematch Pacquiao right away if he beat him because Pacquiao would probably train his ass off, excuse that, but he'd come back, he'd train hard, and he'd be really tough to beat. So I would take a nice competitive tune-up fight.
Vacation.
No, well, yeah, take a vacation and then come back and take a nice competitive tune-up fight and then Pacquiao rematch because I think the rematch would be huge. If Pacquiao wins, They're gonna just say, "Oh, okay, he beat Mosley. You know, Mosley's old." They're not gonna give him credit. Don't know why, because Shane, no matter how old he is, he's still athletic. You can't take away the athleticism from a guy like an athlete like Shane Mosley. You could put Michael Jordan on the basketball court right now, and he'd still show up some of those guys. You could put George Foreman in the ring right now, and he would still show up some of these heavyweights. So
right,
you
so
can't
we know
discredit
Mr.
him.
Pound for Pound is on Mosley's ground. Now, what's the lineup for Pacquiao? Who would he fight?
All right, Pacquiao. Well, I think you stay away from going up anymore. Do not go up any more divisions. Just don't do it. I mean, you know, say you proved what you got to prove. Just stay around the 147-pound weight limit.
Are there any birdies out there? Is anybody kind of talking, whispering about what the possibilities are, who may be the next person?
Well, I already know what they're gonna want. They're gonna want to see him in there with a Sergio Mora, and they're gonna want to. I mean, I'm sorry, not Sergio Mora, Sergio Martinez. You know, Sergio Martinez is just a beast right now. He's big and he looks really good. I would not throw him in there with the Sergio Martinez.
So he would have to come down.
Yeah, he's too big, and he doesn't have nothing to prove against Sergio. I mean, stay to 147, rule 147, and wait till Mayweather fight can be made. And until then, fight 147, 140-pound contenders and number one contenders and champions. Just stay there and just rule all. You don't got to move up and prove yourself against bigger guys all the time. It's been proven track record that ruins people's careers. Just stay at 47 and fluctuate from 147 to 140 and just annihilate all comers. That's what I would say to Pacquiao to do.
So, what's your prediction?
My prediction is for this fight to be very exciting, very explosive. I think it's going to have its ebbs and flows. I think Pacquiao's going to have a lot of more moments. But I'm going to go with Shane Mosley on this. My gut is telling me Shane Mosley is going to pull out an upset. I think this is going to be one of those shock the world type upsets. It could be early, but I'm predicting it's going to be mid-round to late in the fight. And I think Shane Mosley is going to take this victory either by knockout or submission. I'm going to go by knockout. I'm leaning more toward the knockout, toward the middle of the late rounds.
Well, there you go, folks. You heard it from Mr. Pound for Pound himself. It's happening May 7th. Manny Pacquiao, Sugar, Shane Mosley. Watch it. It's going down.